ABC News moderators should really be ashamed of themselves. And they are the reason that people do not trust any of the mainstream media anymore. These moderators were so biased, they fact-checked Donald Trump over and over and over again while they let Kamala Harris get away with lie after lie.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. You know that debate last night got lots of reactions from people. Everybody's got their take on how it went. Some believe Trump won the debate. Some think Kamala Harris won the debate. And some people are still undecided. But the truth of the matter is, if you were already going to vote either way, it did not change your mind. There may be a few undecideds out there who, in addition to being low information voters, who could go either way. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch the video to the end. Now let's get into it. So here we have a young man by the name of Rob Smith, and he's saying Kamala lies, ABC News biased against Trump. Trump prevails, but still gets rattled by crowd-sized remark. My true thoughts.
All right, what's going on, y'all? That debate just ended, and let me give you my immediate takes from the debate. First of all, that was one of the most embarrassing, from a journalistic perspective, debates I've ever seen in my life. The ABC News moderators should really be ashamed of themselves, and they are the reason that people do not trust any of the mainstream media anymore. These moderators were so biased, they fact-checked Donald Trump over and over and over again while they let Kamala Harris get away with lie after lie after lie. When I tell you, when she repeated the very fine people's Charlottesville smear, the lie that Trump said that at the Charlottesville riots, there were very fine people on both sides referencing the neo-Nazis. That lie and that smear has been debunked so many times, and they allowed Kamala Harris to peddle this lie to millions of people without a single fact check. When that happened, I knew that there was an issue with this debate. I knew that it was basically 3-on-1. It was Lindsey Davis, David Muir, Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. The ABC News moderators should be ashamed of themselves, and anybody that really cares about journalism and really cares about a free and fair journalistic system in this country is going to be absolutely infuriated by this. Now, second of all, I think that Donald Trump did a pretty good job at always bringing the conversation back to the prosperity that he presided under when he was president. Now, there was one time in particular where Kamala Harris really got under his skin, and it was when she basically did that ding about the crowd sizes at his rallies. That seemed to rattle Trump. He started ranting and raving a little bit, and he made what I think was an error when he went into, the people eating the cats and stuff, the migrants in Ohio, that story.
Yeah, I thought he should not have even brought that up, because what she did, if I remember correctly, is that, so extreme. She did it real fake. But a debate compared to the years that someone has had in office, smart people should not base their decision on a debate, period. If anyone's out there doing that, that is just not smart. Not trying to demean anyone, but that is not an intelligent decision. You go by your life, how it was under one administration versus the other one, and you go by actual policy facts and what's important to you. What's important to some people just isn't important to me. I know what's important to me: religious freedom, the economy and the border, security, staying out of wars. That's what's important to me. And and also a free and a fair press. That's extremely important to me, because the press can mess with people's minds and have them think things that just simply aren't true, and cause what happened July 13th, demonizing someone to the point where weak-minded people might start to do things they shouldn't do because they're believing the lies of the media. But yes, I just wish she had not made that statement. But from my estimation, I've written down 8 lies that Kamala Harris told. The 2025 lie, that's not his, that's the Heritage Foundation. The FBI says the overall crime is down. Overall crime is not down. Watch this.
There's a migrant crime wave gripping New York City. There was a woman raped at knife point, and police sources tell Fox the suspect is an illegal immigrant from Nicaragua. He was also arrested for assault last year. Then yesterday, the migrant accused of leading the brutal assault on 2 NYPD officers was reportedly arrested again. He is facing charges for multiple thefts while out on bail. Darren Porcher is a retired NYPD lieutenant and criminal justice professor.
Morning to you, sir.
You know, I started reading in some other media that Blue City crime is down. Everything's so much better. And it certainly doesn't look better if you're seeing these stories.
It's clearly a hoax, because when we look at New York City, we operate or function as a sanctuary city, and we clearly see that those policies are failure, and they have yet to uphold the social contract, because we as the 8.5 million residents that reside in the city of New York are under siege, and this migrant issue is a genuine concern for all of us as New Yorkers.
Point this out. This is under Fox News. Biden-Harris administration says the crime is down, but independent data shows violent crime up across 66 cities. Violent crime is actually up nearly 25%, independent data analysis shows. And this was published August 17th, 2024.
I think that fundamentally Trump won this debate. And why I think this is that he was very, very clear, very concise, and very direct in what he was saying. Like I said, if you follow my feed, you know that for days I've been saying that all Donald Trump needs to do in these debates is to remind Americans of what this country looked like when he was president. There were no wars. There was more prosperity. There was far less inflation. And he reminded people of that over and over and over again, which was a very, very strong choice on his part. Now to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris did not do as bad as I thought. Now the expectations for Kamala Harris were so low in this debate that she had a very low bar to clear. Now, obviously, if you've been watching Kamala Harris for a while, you know that she's word soup. You know that she's basically incoherent. And she started the debate off with word soup that was incoherent. But when they got on the subject of abortion, this is something that obviously Kamala Harris is very passionate about. This woman is very passionate about killing babies. All right. And she speaks to that passionately, and she speaks to that in a way that is truly going to connect with that base of, in J.D. Vance's words, these childless cat ladies on the Democrat side who are going to vote for Kamala Harris purely because she is going to let them babies with abandon, which leads me to the next point, which was an outrageous fact check by ABC News. When Donald Trump said that there are states that are basically allowing abortion up to and including the point of birth, what he was referencing, and he said it wrong, he misspoke. I think he said West Virginia. When he's talking about Virginia, he talked about the comments that former Virginia Governor Ralph Northam made about abortion. I shared these comments on my Twitter feed. I found them immediately because when he said that there are some people that are allowing abortion up to and including the 9th month, ABC News and Lindsay Davis, quote unquote, fact checked him. They said that this was false. It's absolutely true. And I shared the video that basically went completely viral and destroyed Ralph Northam's career, in which he said the very thing that Trump said was happening. So not only was the fact check outrageous, it was not true. The moderators fact checked Donald Trump more times than I can count, and I don't believe that they ever fact checked Kamala Harris. This is why, and fundamentally, like I said, I don't know if a debate like this is really going to change anybody's minds at this point. I do believe that some independents are going to look at these answers that Donald Trump made, and it's going to remind them of how this country looked back when he was president. But again, my final point is this. The reason that the vast majority of the American public does not trust the mainstream media, the reason that the vast majority of the American public does not trust these so-called journalists like David Muir and Lindsay Davis is because of what we just spent the last 2 hours watching, okay? We spent the last 2 hours basically watching these journalists, quote unquote, fact check Donald Trump mercilessly, follow-up questions with him mercilessly while they allowed Kamala Harris to spread lie after lie after lie and did not fact-check her. This is the reason that people are so critical of the mainstream media.
All right, let's take a look at some other reactions to that debate.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the debate was 100% rigged. It was rigged. They ganged up on him. If I was Donald Trump, I would not do another debate. They just pretty much attacked him from Kamala Harris to the moderators themselves. They did nothing but attacked. They tried to call him out without calling out Kamala Harris. It was fucking rigged.
You have attended so many of these rallies. Is it true what Kamala Harris said, that people leave early because of exhaustion and boredom?
No, they leave early because they've been there for 14, 16 hours waiting for him to come on stage enthusiastically. They've been there and they want to exit, maybe beat the traffic. A lot of people do that during sports events as well. They leave a little early. That's just human nature. But she doesn't know anything about that because she's right. He was right. She does bust people in and pay them by the hour to attend their rallies. I almost threw my TV set out the hotel window when she said that line on rallies. He gets these huge rallies. You know, tens of thousands of people show up to these rallies and they listen to what the president has to say. I think that was a low blow for her. I think it's just, I think the whole night. Look, I don't have enough time tonight because we all need to get some sleep to go over all of the things that I observed tonight. I am about to literally, this is insane what we saw tonight. That is a 3 versus 1. That was the 2 moderators and Kamala Harris teamed up on President Trump. And man, let me tell you something. This makes CNN look like the favorable channel at this point that we'd all should watch. ABC, in my opinion, tonight, it couldn't have got any worse for them tonight, showing their overwhelming bias against President Trump. And I almost feel like at this point, Kamala must have had a little coffee and a lunch or something like that and got the questions in advance. She was polished on them, but it was almost too polished for someone who doesn't do any media. But tonight, President Trump, I think he delivered some solid talking points on all the key issues that affect Americans. And let me tell you something. If ABC has to drag up the most debunked story against President Trump, being that there's fine people there, that has been debunked so many times. For them to bring that up and also bringing the J6 stuff in means they are desperate. They are desperate to get President Trump out of the being favorable in the eyes of the American people.
Yep, debunked. And yes, ABC should be ashamed. He's right. It actually made CNN look like a very credible network. Oh my gosh. Because in comparison, CNN did a fabulous job compared to ABC. I can't believe ABC did such a horrible job. They need to investigate them. There needs to be fair media in this country. But all the lies that were told, debunked. I was a journalism major in college, and it bothers me to no end that the media is so biased. ABC, Lindsay Davis, and whatever the man's name is, just let Kamala Harris, get away with so many lies. I've got her down for 8 lies. It's probably more than that, but I wrote down 8. She lied about Project 2025. Donald Trump has nothing to do with that. He's Agenda 47. The statement was made by the moderator. By the man, it says that FBI crime overall is down. Well, I just showed you that it is not down. IVF. She said that Donald Trump will get rid of IVF. That's a lie. He's for IVF. He even said he wants the government or health insurance companies to pay for it because IVF, from what I hear, is very expensive. He said he wants people to have more and more beautiful babies. He wants couples who want to conceive to be able to conceive. So that was a lie. They did, in fact, check her on that. She said that there would be a nationwide abortion ban. Lie. He sent it back to the states. And he's not going to do an abortion ban. One thing about Donald Trump, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. She said that he was weak on national security and foreign policy. I almost fell out of my chair. You mean the administration right now, there's so many wars going on right now under this current administration. There were no new wars under Donald Trump. So You got the Hamas and Israel. You've got Russia and the you-named country that they don't like you to say. Yeah, we've got that going on. It was not happening under Trump's administration. She actually said that out of her mouth. And remember what happened in Afghanistan with that disastrous pullout August 26th of 2021, where they let 13 American servicemen and women die under their watch, and they've yet to go even visit any of the ceremonies commemorating the loss of life on those anniversaries. This most recent one, of course, was August 26th of this year, the 3rd year anniversary. Donald Trump is there for the families. He took the call. They said he was a comfort for them. And only thing Biden and Harris could do was just like make up stuff about there was some kind of altercation there. There was, they broke federal law, something about not supposed to take pictures. None of that was true. All of that was debunked. All of that was debunked. It was not true. What they pushed out there, those Gold Star families came out in support of Donald Trump, and they said Kamala Harris was a disgrace because of the lies. She didn't even have the common decency of saying, sorry, I couldn't make it. We are so sorry for what happened. They're the cause for it happening, and then they didn't even show any remorse. That's an all-time low. There's no way I would go for her. Never. Not with her at all. And also the bloodbath comment was referring to a bad economy, not actual violence or anything like that. That was in reference to a bad economy. It is a common term. Also, good people on both sides. That was debunked. That was edited down to make Donald Trump look bad, because they can edit clips and sound bites and mix it up in such a way and then push their narrative around it, wrap it up in a false narrative, and people who are low information, people who will eat it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and go and vote accordingly. So that's what happens, but Trump will win. Also, 140 law enforcement officers, everything that she says out of her mouth, I mean, literally, I just couldn't believe it. I got 8 that I wrote down. It might be more than, I'm sure it's more than that, because every time she spoke, it was a lie. And they never fact check her. But that's terrible. And you were wrong for doing that. But thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as they always say, march on, warriors.